Your interactions with the Las Vegas Raiders, and what would it mean to you to get to play with Coach Chip Kelly again?
That'd be awesome, man. And seeing that that move from Coach Kelly, I'm so happy for him. And he's one of the best coaches I've had, man. And one of my favorite people I've been around. And we've stayed in contact, and I hope it'd be amazing to get the opportunity to play for him again. Really, anyone. I'd be happy to go anywhere, man. But he's a great dude, and I'm just so happy that he got the opportunity that he did, and I think that's a really good place.
Will, when you think about going back, how much do you feel now?
Yeah, I feel a ton more prepared, for sure. Like, without a doubt, I am, this year at Ohio State, I wanted it to be a step up. And I talked about, the two things that I was looking for in a school were developing as a prospect and developing, my draft stock and competing for a national championship. One of those boxes checked. And, now going into this process, the things that we went through this year, what I learned, going into a new locker room, having to win over a locker room, all those different things really, truly taught me so much, and I feel really well prepared. I think my consistency definitely improved. Being able to, up my completion percentage from 59 or whatever it was in my career at K-State to, 73 this year. I think, I was more accurate. I think I was able to show more arm strength. I definitely probably didn't run the ball as much as I, normally did at Kansas State this past year, but really didn't need to. We had some dudes, back there to carry the load for me. But I feel like I just developed in every aspect of my game, and it was just a blessing to come to Ohio State, man. It was the best decision I ever made.
Naturally, you coming into that room meant also taking over as the leader of that quarterback room, and obviously Lincoln and Julian are left behind. What do you think you impressed under those guys, and what do you think fans should be expecting to see from them this year?
Yeah, man, I think, we just had a great vibe in that room, and we had a lot of fun together. And I'm excited for them to, kind of take over and be the guys going forward, because, Julian coming in, he's a little soft-spoken guy, he's quiet, but, now it's his time. Now it's Lincoln and Tavian and those guys, and I'm excited for them, man. I hope that I could have had, a little bit of an impact on them. Gave some of the things that I've learned from some of the guys that were, above me when I was at Kansas State, like Adrian and Skyler, and some of the guys that I learned from there. I hope I could have left some nuggets with them and showed them, at the very least, how to treat people and, how to work hard and, all those different things. And I mean, I'm rooting for those guys, man. I'm pulling for them. We still stay in contact, so I'm gonna be pulling for the Buckeyes big time next year.
Well, there are some NFL wide receivers that you fantasize about during touchdown passes.
Shoot, they're all unbelievable. I of course, being the Ohio State guy, I'd love to throw to like Garrett and Chris and JSN and Marv. But you could go down the line. I've always really loved Devontae Adams' game. I thought his game was really awesome. I think the two LSU guys with Jamar and Justin are unbelievable. You go down the list. There's a ton. I couldn't pick one.
In hindsight, how was Michigan able to have success defensively against you guys that no other team really was able to last season?
I don't know, man. It was they were a stout front, and they did a good job up front. But we're here to talk about the draft and the combine.
Well, in terms of the top three quarterbacks that you really like a lot in the league, who would you say those are?
It's a good question. I got to say Patrick Mahomes, because he's a dog. Josh Allen. I love watching Josh. I think he's obviously deserved of the MVP award and did a great job. But I think that third guy, I'd probably have to say Lamar. I just love watching Lamar play. He's developed a lot as a quarterback, and I think a lot of people were saying he was just a running back coming into it, man. But like he truly has turned into an elite thrower, and I think that's a cool part. And those three guys, I love watching those three guys.
Will, what are some lessons you think you took from the playoff run that you can then translate into your time in the NFL?
Man, what didn't I learn, man? I learned a lot from this past year. But you know, you're never out of it, man. And you know, it felt like the world, you know, was caving in on us after that last game of the year, and you know, a lot of people wanted to say that, but you know, we still had to cling to hope that, you know, that we could still win a national championship, and we did that. We banded together and said, you know, no matter what, no matter how hard this feels right now, no matter what adversity we go through, we got to stick together. And I think, you know, the power of team and the power of God and the power of belief, man, like, was shown throughout that whole playoff run, and we were able to really just, you know, impose our will on some teams.
How much did you, just how much momentum did you build for yourself to the playoff run to kind of help your stock here, you think, in the NFL?
Yeah, I think that was huge for me. You know, a lot of people were telling me, you know, different things about where my draft stock was after the year, and wasn't really sure going into the playoffs. But they said, you know, hey, you could really help yourself out if you know, have a strong showing in the playoffs. So, you know, I said, all right, deal. You know, let's see how this thing goes, and you know, try and put my best foot forward. And I think, you know, the thing that is important about that is, you know, I played my best ball when the lights were the brightest, and I think I proved to people that, you know, I am best when, you know, the pressure's on, and you know, when the playoffs came along, like, I think that was one of the best things, and you know, I was able to really just let it rip, man. And I was just being confident. I was, you know, throwing the deep ball well. I was being accurate. I mean, being able to go 13 for 13 to start the national championship was, you know, one of the better starts I've had to a game. So, you know, I think, you know, I learned a lot, and I was able to push myself and able to show teams that, you know, hopefully I can be that face of the franchise, and I can be a starting quarterback in the NFL for a long time.
What was your first wow moment watching Jake? What do you get from Jake Eaves working with him?
Jake's a great guy, man. I love working with Jake, and he's helped me a lot, man, on and off the field. And he's a great man, unbelievable man